I'm Haley Taylor, and you're listening to the Rough Draft Diaries. There is a long story I could tell describing the circumstances in which I arrived at this week's Rough Draft Diaries interview, but it's not very interesting, and we don't have enough time. The gist of it is that I got horribly lost. Somehow I ended up in Waterville, Ohio, where I should have been in Grand Rapids, Ohio, and on top of all that, the location is a bit deceiving. Hi.
How you doing?
Looking for Joel?
Well, I'm Joe.
Hi, I'm Haley.
Joel's coming around the corner here.
Hi. I'm here to meet with Joel Washing. He's a sculptor and employee at QSI Fabrication, where we're meeting because this location doubles as a studio and also a place of business.
This is where I work as my day job, and the art making happens after hours a little bit. But
Yeah.
Do you want to follow me?
Yeah. Joel is taking me on a tour of the business side first, and we'll talk about the art side later. So we're headed into the shop where there's torches and fire and metal, and it's all very exciting.
And so all the guys are welding. You'll have a tendency to want to stare at the blue light.
Yeah.
So try to avoid that. Okay. I'm going to turn down the radio.
It is kind of hard. I want to look at the blue light. It's kind of hard not to.
Yeah, the welding light is really pretty.
But probably not the best.
But probably not the best to stare at for too long.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So in the shop, Joel makes racks for the auto industry. But just outside of the shop, the yard is filled with artwork. Joel is currently showing me one of his sculptures.
I'm calling it Emerge. To me, it looks like a geometric egg that's at the end of a stem from another world, a plant stem from another world. So
No, it's
I
hard,
don't know how to
isn't it?
describe it. Yeah, there's stainless steel and rusted steel, and it looks like a plant from another planet that's kind of blowing in the wind at the moment. That's the best way I can really describe it, I guess.
Joel is not the only artist who turns the shop into his own art studio after his 9-to-5. The owner, Tom, is actually an artist as well, and he has set up this work ethic to have a balance of business and art. It's kind of a surprising combination, which goes as well for the story of how Joel became an artist. I thought Joel must have been a metalworker first and an artist second, but actually I wasn't even close.
My friend and I were filmmakers. We made documentaries and commercials in Toledo.
Really?
Yeah, so when he left, I kind of lost interest in it because I lost my filmmaking partner, I guess you could say.
So Joel was an artist first, making, again, those documentary films. When his friend left the film business, he decided to start his own food truck. And guess who helped with the food truck?
We had to build a cage to hold the propane tanks. So I just thought I would learn how to weld by watching YouTube, and it worked. At that point, I got really excited about welding. I thought it was a cool thing. So I started taking classes at the Toledo Museum of Art in their sculpture studio, and then decided that I was really excited about welding and wanted to learn everything there was to learn about it.
So Joel went back to school, going to Owens to receive an associate's degree in welding. And through the professors that he met through that degree, he got the job that he has now, a job he's been holding for the past 3 years. It's kind of backwards to me. And maybe it's just from the narrative that is often created in books or films. A man working in a blue-collar job, trying to break out to pursue his artistic passions but feels trapped. Here we have a man who's fully aware of his artistic abilities and instead chooses a job in the blue-collar field. And Joel didn't predict this path for himself either.
No, I didn't really. I think I was kind of, when I was younger, I was lost. I was terrible in high school. I hated being there. But I love learning. I've always loved learning. I just didn't like that particular setting. I didn't know what I wanted to do going into college. I figured out a long time ago that I do like to work with my hands. I always loved doing yard work, or I never built things before the food truck, but I think for a lot of people, and for me, welding is like kind of magical. When you don't know how it works, I had no idea how does it work? How is it gonna work? So I bought a really cheap welder at a local store and just made a couple of pieces of metal stick together, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is what this is about.
So I guess it's not that strange for a documentary filmmaker to put down the camera in exchange for a propane torch. Joel seems to fit comfortably in his new job and his new career. The only regret he has is that it came so much later in his life instead of sooner.
I do get a little discouraged, only in that I wish there was more time. Like, I don't have enough time in the day. I think I fell, I'm not going to say victim, but I fell into that same thing we were just talking about. You have to go to post-secondary university. Everybody's going to university. That's where you should go. So I was just going with the flow, I guess. And now I think I'm a little bit more, I know what I want to get out of life. So I just want to make art. I just want to create things. And specifically out of steel, because it's my favorite.
I'm Haley Taylor, and thanks for listening to this episode of the Rough Draft Diaries.